Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Welcome back to our channel, where you can watch videos to improve your iman and learn about Islamic ideas and stories you may not have known about. When a couple gets married, they receive very little sexual counseling, and what they do receive is essentially superficial. Both the husband and the wife become very confused about what is and is not acceptable as an outcome. Because of this, couples occasionally engage in sexual practices that are unsure are allowed or prohibited in Islam. The ability to ejaculate on his wife's face, hands, mouth, and even breasts is another question that husbands are typically too embarrassed to ask anyone, but they face it at least once in their lives. In today's video, we will try to address this question so that if you are one of those who too are facing this and are confused about it, all your thoughts will get clear. The most appropriate area for completion of sexual activity. It is known to everyone that the most appropriate area for the man to complete his sexual action is none other than the vagina of a woman. This is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designed the vagina of a woman's body specifically for sexual activity in childbirth. Other parts of her body are not designated for this action. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, "Your wives are like farmland for you, so approach them consensually as you please, and send forth something good for yourselves. Be mindful of Allah, and know that you will meet Him and give good news to the believers." According to the definition of farmland, a woman should be viewed as a channel for the actual output or farm produce, which is none other than children. Therefore, it is obvious that a man ought not to engage in his sexual activity on any portion of his body other than the vagina. Areas prohibited in Islam to complete one's desire. Now that we know that a woman's vagina is the best place for a male to release his semen, the issue is, what are the places that are completely prohibited in Islam? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbids a husband from approaching his wife from behind or having oral sex with her. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Cursed is the one who has intercourse with his wife in her anus." This is due to the fact that having sex from behind is against human nature, and that it is vile and repulsive to even consider that such behavior could be tolerated in the holy faith of Islam. Similarly, oral sex is forbidden, since it involves a dirty act that is contrary to human nature and involves a mouth that is intended for doing dhikr of Allah. Can a man complete his desire on his wife's any other body part? Now back to our primary question. If we understand what is proper and what is forbidden, can a husband try to discover a middle ground that is neither most appropriate or prohibited at the same time? The answer is yes, because there is no such law in Islam, no hadith, no Quran verse that clearly prohibits this activity, despite the fact that it is not very acceptable to hear. Therefore, it can be considered permitted. A man can ejaculate on his wife's body areas other than the mouth and back, as long as both of them consent and neither is hurting the other. Although it is true that this behavior is inappropriate and should be avoided at all costs, because it also entails dirt and is typically disapproved of by the wife, it cannot be classified as prohibited in Islam. The primary goal of a devout marriage should be to have children in order to gain Allah's favor. Children are a gift from Allah, a way to improve your position in the hereafter, and a method of sadaqah jariyah. Fulfilling one's desires in a halal manner is another important objective. For this reason, youngsters are urged to marry a devout spouse as soon as possible, as this will not only complete their deen, but also serve as a safeguard against temptation. And for this reason, Even a husband and wife's sexual activity should have boundaries, and both parties should know what is and is not acceptable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, "And they who guard their private parts, except from their wives or those their right hands possess, for indeed they will not be blamed." This verse emphasizes that being intimate in a marriage is a blessing and a halal act. Nonetheless, there are particular restrictions and rules that need to be followed. Furthermore, one should always remember that they are a source of comfort and mercy for their partner. As such, if something is not strictly forbidden, such as ejaculating on the breasts, on the hand, or anywhere else but the mouth and back, it should not cause his wife any discomfort or annoyance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, "And one of his signs is that he created for you spouses from among yourselves, so that you may find comfort in them. And he has placed between you compassion and mercy. Surely in this are signs for people who reflect." Islam acknowledges our inherent desires that Allah has given us and offers acceptable means of satisfying them. When handled with love, care, and in accordance with their beliefs, the marriage relationship is a lovely gift and a way to get rewards. That's all for today, dear viewers. We hope you find this video informative and engaging. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.